guests and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors. Welcome to Trento Vision, where bad ideas get pulverized and the truth will set you free. Trento Vision is hosted by Tom Trento. Tom can be reached at 561-319-5533 or Tom at trentovision.tv. Listen and watch every weekday from 3 to 6 p.m. on AM 1470 WNN and trentovision.tv. Now, let's get a peek at Tom's view of the world. Here's Tom Trento.
Okay, everybody. I have to be real careful. We have the video camera going, and we come on about a minute or two before the show actually starts, and I get into like a thought process, sort of my cone of silence, Maxwell Smart's cone of silence.
Was that where it came from?
Yeah. He would go off into the office, and this cone would come down over him, and he'd be in there talking, but you couldn't hear him. But I'm also monitoring the shot on the computer, and I put my head back before, and I'm kind of thinking.
You look like you're in pain.
Yeah,
Look like you're dying.
And I looked on it, and there's a little delay between when I do it. I go, what the heck? Is somebody stick a knife in me? It looked like I'm in total pain. I was not in pain, folks, so rest assured, no pain. Hi, CJ. How are you?
Swell. Thank you.
Good. Mark, the disembodied.
How's my new mic working? Is it working good?
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Just let the folks see your mic.
My little retro mic?
Hey,
I'm going retro.
Super cool. Yeah.
Here we go. You're going to see
Look at
Mark's
that.
new mic, or Mike's new Mark. Got it? Yeah.
My new mic.
Man, there's no noise to it or anything.
Nothing. If I click it off.
Oh, yes.
Click
Thank
it on.
you, Jesus, and Moses, and Allah, and everybody.
So no more bouncing around with me.
Oh, very cool. I want one of those, though, a retro mic. I'm going to get one. I get this thing that's like scary looking.
And your flag's going all over the place.
No,
there.
we got to keep America alive and well. We have to do it because Washington certainly is not doing it.
No.
So, hi, Invisible Mike. Somebody labeled you Invisible Mike.
Invisible mic.
We got disembodied Mark and Invisible Mike and CJ. So,
Just plain old CJ.
good afternoon.
No adjective for that.
Good afternoon. Look, 8 days ago, the evening of the 6th, the four of us were together. And then we went to a couple of places to see Mitt Romney win the presidential election.
Oh, we had bets for that too, didn't
Another cunning
Yeah,
plan
we did have bets
gone
for that.
awry.
we? We were all wrong.
We were all wrong. We missed it by a country mile. We're going to find out about that actually in our second and third hour, 3 to 4 to 5, 5 to 6. We have Jamie Miller coming on. He's the political mathematician. He's the pollster who can make sense out of all the crazy numbers. So he'll be here in the next hour and the next hour after that, because we're really going to dig down to figure out what happened. But that Tuesday night, the three of us were together, and we went to Adam Hasner's funeral march.
Funeral, that was
his
terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, it was nauseating seeing Lois Frankel in Washington on the Hill in her goofiness.
She is such an idiot.
I know her for 25 years. I've dealt with her in City Hall in West Palm. I actually used to debate her on the radio 25 years ago.
How'd she do?
She is a complete idiot. I mean,
Are we allowed to say idiot on the radio when we're referring to
well,
a
you can
politician?
beep me, okay? She's a complete idiot.
Okay.
No, she really is. She's an idiot. She's not a very intelligent person. She is a nasty person. When she runs commission meetings, you get there and she makes fun of people, and she's going in. One commission meeting, I've been in so many with her. It was like she was on drugs or something. But
in the Adam Hasner debate with her, it made the Obama Romney debate look like Obama won. It was that bad. How it was terrible.
you got Adam. You have Adam Hasner, sort of the definitive politician, majority leader for the state of Florida, third largest state in the country. knows how to cross the aisle, and you have a cartoon character that wins. That's because of the imbalance of Democrats in this county. That's why Alan left. And he's still fighting for his life. So we're going to talk about Alan, too, in a little bit. But that night, I was getting back to that evening, the evening of the 6th. We had a couple of celebratory cigars ready to fire up. And never want to waste a good cigar. But we are looking for cigar stores. You'll be a great sponsor for Trento Vision. We will push your cigars because we believe.
We believe in
We
cigars.
believe in cigars. We'll rate them. We'll smoke them right here because Bob has given
Yes.
us permission to smoke them in the actual
Right in
studio
the
here.
room here.
That's
so we will test your cigars and rate your cigars. And if you're an advertiser, every one of your cigars are the best cigars we've ever smoked. So,
No, that's not. We'll
No,
actually
no.
give it a fair and balanced,
yes.
partial.
Yes.
Partial.
So, no, we're looking at categories of potential advertisers, and there's several cigar stores in many of them in this area. You would actually be a great advertiser because we tend to kick back when we do our planning, have a cigar, think things through. So we've become pretty adept at understanding good cigars and bad cigars and all that stuff. So we're looking for cigar advertisers if you're out there.
And we particularly like the ones who also serve wine.
Yes, those are the
For
good
those
ones,
of
too.
us who don't smoke
And
cigars.
I'm getting emails already. You can't be saying so. You can't have smoking on the air. They're cigars. They're not cigarettes. We're against cigarettes. I don't smoke any cigarettes. I have a cigar once in a while, but no cigarettes. We're against that. But anyway, on the 6th, we lit up our cigars after we found out that we were going to lose, which was becoming very evident. We sat down, Mark, CJ, and myself. Why don't you get CJ in the shot here? It's time for you to come on the air.
it's too early. I thought I wasn't on until
No,
the next
you brought the
hour.
cookies. What's today's cookies, kiddies? What are they?
Peanut butter.
Peanut butter cookies.
Peanut butter
They're
cookies
excellent.
today.
Oh, you know what? That thing is warm, so you can have.
Oh,
you
warm,
gotta
warm the
them up.
cookies. Yeah, warm the cookies. Yeah.
It's even better.
Okay.
We were at the Delray Beach Marriott, so I said, "Come on, let's go over here." And Mark and I, CJ does not smoke cigars. Okay, Mark and I lit our uncelebratory cigar.
And it was the worst cigar I ever had. By the way,
Yeah,
it really
it
was
was
a
a
bad
rough
cigar.
one. But we said, okay, we can cry in our wine for 5 minutes, and then we got to get up and get back and get in the fight. We lost. So, we can't just let the country be taken over. Notwithstanding the fact that many of the conservatives in our world weren't overwhelmingly excited about, Mitt Romney's candidacy and even serving, we knew he would not intentionally run the car off the cliff. His heart is right. He would try to do the right thing. As long as he got surrounded by good advisors, it could be a very positive presidency. Notwithstanding this presidency where he wants to run the car off the cliff in a couple of areas. So, it was kind of a rough night, but the next morning we're back here the morning after and we're doing our thing. But who would have thought 1 week ago when we were sitting down at the Delray Beach Hotel commiserating on the loss, who would have thought it would have been so much fun now to see this administration completely unraveling and every rat abandoning ship and backbiting and fighting and insanity going on in 7 days. Would you ever have imagined?
It's just the beginning.
It is just the beginning. And we don't gloat for the fact that the administration of the country is falling apart, the executive branch. But we do gloat that those occupying those positions are collapsing and falling apart because that's what they deserve. When people purposely implement policies that are known to fail, like a socialistic approach of taking Obamacare. I was in a doctor's office today, and a friend of mine visiting with him, neurosurgeon. I think I'm going to get him here next week. If we do, it's going to be a wild day in the studio talking about Obamacare. You know what he told me? I said, what do you think about Obamacare? And within 2 sentences, he said, hey, euthanasia, right? And he's not a big pro-life guy. I go, what do you mean? He goes, "Oh, it's already happening." He said, "Limited resources, the decisions by the bureaucracy, and it's being done." He explained to me how he just did he's a brain surgeon. He did an operation on a guy who had cancer in his brain, took it out, no more cancer, and he had one little node right here. Simple, simple, simple. He said, and he made me laugh. He goes, all the doctor has to do, and he wouldn't do this, he does the brain stuff. He says, all he does is he goes like this. He showed me the operation. He goes, you go like this, zip, zip, zap, zoop, it's out, he says. And the guy's all better, right?
Right.
He goes, 25 minutes, I can do that, right? And he can, but he doesn't even do that. He said the family's physician with one of the insurance companies decided they didn't want to put him through that pain. And he was 55 years old, the guy. They didn't want to put him through that pain and suffering because he had the brain surgery. Mm-hmm. And the brain doctor saying, the guy's fine. Right? And they made a decision to put him in hospice and put him on morphine. And he said the morphine drip is euthanasia. They just keep
That's
cranking
all it is,
it up.
yeah.
Until he's smothered to death.
That's what my mom had to go through. Yeah. And it was
55 years old, and
my
he
mom
said,
was 83.
He said, it's a $3,000 operation. He said, I'll do the thing for nothing. I'll do it for nothing, And he called the family and argued with the family, and then he went on to say that some of these decisions are also motivated by the law is allowing this now. The inheritance is sitting right there. Okay, we're going to give you a nice, easy way out of life. So if we can get him on, I'm not going to mention who he is, but if we can get him on next week, I think he'll come on. It's going to be a rip-roaring show. But CJ, could you have imagined in less than 1 week, we will be seeing the absolute destruction of components of this administration in such a sad and serious way?
Well, I'm not heartbroken.
No, the Republic is strong enough to withstand the collapse of leaders that have taken a position that are harming the country. The Republic's strong enough to do that. And in fact, maybe, and this Benghazi deal, we are staying on this. It is too big. We're gonna talk about it this first hour. It's too serious. It's too significant, not only in terms of the errors of this administration, more importantly, from a national security perspective, on a global scale, the way in which this situation is managed from here sets a precedent and indicates how the world will view us and how we will respond to the world, whether or not we're going to create more Libyas where we go into these countries knowing that assisting the revolution of a friend of America, whether you like him or not, Gaddafi was a friend of America. You folks watching and listening on WNN 1470, you were paying tax dollars sent by the federal government to assist Muammar Gaddafi in suppressing the jihad in Libya. You didn't know that, did you? Well, tax money was going to support that and was working very effectively. But the jihadis didn't want him there because he was suppressing Sharia law. Guess what? You got John McCain and Lindsey Graham's Libya right now, and they had the audacity to be on a press conference today saying that we need a special investigation. Everything they said today was right, except the fact that, we went in and saved Libya. That's what was wrong. These guys they're missing it so badly. Unbelievable.
Well, we know from experience the only way to control the Muslim Brotherhood right now in the way the world in which it is to have ruthless dictators crushing them at every turn. You had Saddam Hussein, crushed them. Mubarak crushed them. Libya, Gaddafi crushed them. And that's the only way that they have found a way to control the Muslim Brotherhood. And once you remove the crushing power, the Muslim Brotherhood comes in and takes over. And yet McQueeg cannot see this,
McQueen.
Yeah.
I'll tell him why I call it McQueeg. It's actually pretty funny.
Well, yeah, Mutiny on the Bounty.
McQueeg, the guy with the rolling of the balls in his hand.
Yeah, Andy Boston named him McQueeg, and we had Andy in here He comes up with the craziest things, Boston. We'll get him back too. Hi, folks. You're with Tom Trento on TrentoVision.tv at 21 minutes past 3 o'clock on the East Coast on a beautiful, guess what the temperature is in our little
Oh my
office here
gosh,
studio.
it
Is
is.
it 75 degrees?
76
It's
degrees.
76.
Yeah.
I must admit, I was tricked for a while. I keep looking at this device on the table, and it was giving the temperature, which I thought was outside, but it was actually inside. But we'll go to the trusty number one invention out of all the inventions in 20 centuries, the iPhone.
Superseding the wheel
Yes.
itself.
75 degrees today, right now, outside in Boca Raton, and sunny and a little cloudy. We can see that.
Did you hear where schools are starting to not teach handwriting anymore? Because of the advent of the iPhones and texting and everything like that.
Well,
Oh
they
my
failed with me. I developed my own kind of hieroglyphic that was in the model of my mother. I had a terrible handwriting. I print for the most part. But if you want to speak with us today, it's 888-565-1470, 888-565-1470. We're going to go dive into the Benghazi situation. We're going to get an update from Dave D on the Allen West deal. We're going to stick with that. He's our congressman right now, District 22. Is he or is he not? How would that work? No, he still is,
He
right?
still is till they move it over.
Yeah. He's got another month or
He's
so.
going to be calling for the investigations and everything.
But he's the congressman of District 22 until his term is up. He ran in 18. He lost that, so he's still here. We have a new elected congresswoman. Oh, God! We got to come up with names for her. Lois Frankel. Frankelstein or whatever. No, really, she is. She's going to be a problem, and she's such a total leftist, and she's one of these people that has a tremendous need for attention. In all the city commission meetings in West Palm, there'd be an intelligent conversation going on, and she'd be like picking her nose and playing with her hair, and just go, I don't believe in any of that stuff. I just don't want to do it. And I've been in so many meetings with her, and small meetings with 20 people in a room, and she has to be the center of attention. She's going to try that up there, and
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck. I mean, she's just going to be a clown. You elected a clown, folks. Well, you know what? For the circus that many of you live in the unreal circus, not understanding what's going on in the world, good. You elected your leading clown. Let the clown solve the problem that Benjamin Netanyahu is having right now. We'll talk a little bit about that. Missiles coming in from all over the place. They're moving the Iron Domes to the south now because so many missiles are coming in. And they just whacked, who'd they whack? What's the guy's name? Anybody know his name? One of the Hamas jihadis.
Oh, yeah, I read that. Yeah.
And
I don't know, all those names sound alike to me.
Yeah,
Oh, also Alan Grayson, my old congressman, is now back in.
he won again?
He won again. He's back.
You
in.
got to be kidding.
No, so now we got
Oh, my
that
gosh.
mouthpiece.
That's up in Orlando.
No, well, he's not in Orlando. He's in another district. Thank
they do
God
that?
it's not Orlando. It's another. But hey, whatever, you guys get every bit of Alan Grayson up there. He is just.
This is
Okay,
Alan,
you
this
guys,
is not
I don't know
good.
if you knew that. Well, maybe you did read this.
What?
A former Obama administration advisor wrote in Sunday's New York Times, "We need death panels."
Yeah. Hey, well, that's like the you.
Stephen Ratner, former advisor to the Obama administration's Treasury Secretary, wrote, quote, "Elderly Americans are not entitled to every conceivable medical procedure or pharmaceutical."
What's a natural outcome? It's going right back to the.
Continued to lay out the idea of curtailing end-of-life care to elderly is something that is necessary to control the costs attached to Medicare.
Exactly. We've been.
Quote, "No one wants to lose an aging parent, and with price out of the equation, it's natural for patients and their families to try IV treatment regardless of expense or efficacy, but that imposes an enormous societal cost that few other nations have been willing to bear."
Going right back to that Margaret Sanger days.
Oh
and
my
who was that
gosh.
other that wacko playwright?
George Bernard Shaw.
George Bernard Shaw, those.
Yeah.
Who is this guy? Where's he from?
Stephen Ratner. He was Geithner's an advisor to Tim Geithner from Treasury.
Okay. Interesting move. We got to find out more about him
Yeah.
because this is, when was that? This Sunday? And
this
where?
Sunday in the New York Times.
Okay. What they're doing, this is not by mistake, obviously.
Yeah.
This is, they have a plan to address the euthanasia issue,
Yeah.
which we've warned many of you about, and,
Yeah.
and we'll get into these subjects too in the days ahead, because they're going to be very critical, and they're laying the groundwork now to get people to start accepting the highbrow kind of philosophical, out there, doesn't really touch me argument.
Right.
And then once you establish that, then it's just a matter of a couple of steps to get it to the more very
Where you-
specific
where you have to-
55
Well, what
every
they're laying
5
out
years,
is that it's-
well, I'll tell you exactly what they're laying out because they said it in the playwright again. His name,
George Bernard
Bernard
Shaw.
Shaw, came out and said, every 5 years you should have to come up and prove your value in existence to be a productive citizen of the United States. Says, and if you cannot, have your existence validated, then you should be euthanized.
Well, according to this, he stated that a quarter of Medicare's budget is dedicated to treating people during their last year of life.
It's true.
So I guess he just wants to skip everybody's last year of
Well,
life
that's their
and
yeah.
save the Medicare budget?
Yep, that's the plan because you're a drain on society. That whole Margaret Sanger, George
Oh my
Bernard Shaw, who were
gosh.
close friends. Margaret Sanger, if you don't know, founded, Planned Parenthood, and it's the same mentality. It's what they believed in the beginning was a, the value, get rid of the handicapped people, get rid of the malformed people, people who are older, or whoever's not a productive member of society needs to be eradicated and removed, and therefore that goes to old people too.
Yep.
Oh.
And it all starts with accepting the concept that there's a class of human beings that have a life that's less valuable than competing lives. And historically, it's been blacks, it's been Jews, it's been Christians as genocidal approaches. But once you take a sort of cultural approach to apply that within a culture that's civilized, you got to find a class of people. And the Nazis did it, with homosexuals and retarded people and all this. But everybody has to come and figure it out on their own, every 60 years or so. So it's going to be bad news.
That's called progressivism. That's the progressive liberalism. You're progressing towards a society that is without flaws.
Well, we didn't publicize this, but I was involved in 4 debates with the left, with a rabbi and a Democratic political operative, myself and Alan Bergstein. But I was actually involved in 5 debates. I did a debate that we did not publicize because it would have confused people. But I debated a rabbi, it was myself, and a black Christian woman, debating a rabbi and the head of NOW, National Organization for Women, on these issues, on the life issues, abortion, infanticide, euthanasia, and what's the view of people, particularly the political view, the political policy, public policy views of this sort of approach toward life. And we had a very interesting debate on it, and we'll lay that out too down the road. But right now, I want to share something from one of our friends in our audience, and I want you guys to comment on this, okay? And you can comment on it too at home or in the car, wherever you are, at 3:30 on WNN 1470 AM in Boca Raton, Florida. You're here with me, Tom Trento, CJ, Mark, and Invisible Mike. Disembodied Mark, Invisible Mike. I use a lot of words I got to say for all this stuff. And we're at the start of our first 3 hours. The name, I forgot to give you the name. The name for today is Figures Don't Lie, but Liars Figure. And so do Democrats, okay? Let me get that straight. Figures don't lie, but liars figure, ... And so do Democrats. You see, we believe the Democrat Party as a whole, and we really underscore this when that you talk about debacles, a sinful debacle, the Democratic National Convention, where they took God and Jerusalem out of the platform and voted 3 times to keep it out of the platform, but pushed it in because they saw the political expense would be too deleterious, too bad. We saw the soul revealed of the Democrat Party there, and it's a party that needs to be totally pulverized, if you will, and rebuilt on some ethical principles. Now, does that mean all Democrats within it have no ethics? I don't know. If the shoe fits, wear it. But if you're a Democrat within a party that has no ethics, then you need to do something about that, because we are going to be the antagonist to your party and to the Republican Party in many respects. Do we have, who's that? Can't see. Okay. We're waiting for a report on Allen West, but let's take Mel. Hi, Mel. This is Tom, CJ, and everybody else is here. How are you today, Mel?
I'm doing great.
Good,
nice
good,
speaking
good.
to you.
Yes, our pleasure. How can we help you?
Well, I was trying to explain to David. I was over at Port St. Lucie at the Commissioner of Elections.
Okay, so you're gonna give us a quick Allen West report. Is that what you're doing?
Very cool. Well, his is very quick because they never did anything about Allen West this morning.
Okay.
We went there at 7 a.m. 5 of the Palm Beach County Tea Partiers and another 15 or so other people. And they had decided sometime during last night, I guess, not to do any recount for Allen West. But we did see a recount for the mayoral race of Port St. Lucie with Linda Hudson, who was behind by 5 votes at the end of November 6th, last week's election. And it appears she was ahead when I left about 1 o'clock, ahead by 61 votes.
All right, we don't care about it. We
No,
don't care about the mayor of, Hoboken.
I can assure you, I didn't wake up 4 in the morning to get there for Linda Hudson.
Yeah, right. And, God
And
bless.
right now, we do not know what's next for Allen West.
Really? Okay.
We were waiting for some people coming from Tallahassee, and by 1 o'clock they never showed. And not a lot of people were there then. We had about 200 people yesterday rallying, maybe half that amount today. And again, when I left at 1, unfortunately, there was no new information about a recount for Colonel West.
All right. Thank you very much, Mel. Appreciate it.
If I hear any more or get any more information, I'll holler.
Okay,
I
give us a call.
appreciate it. Thank you, Mel.
Okay, thanks
Right.
for listening. Take
Absolutely.
care. Have a great day, people.
You too. Bye-bye. What did Allen say yesterday? They were going to file a
He
lawsuit
said-
or something,
No,
right?
he said that that the governor was sending 3 people from the state to oversee the counting in St. Lucie County, and now Mel's just telling us they
Nothing's
decided
going on.
last night that they're not going to count them at all, and
I don't know.
today nothing happened.
Well, we need to see if you can find anything. I thought there was the possibility of filing a lawsuit to force the supervisor of elections in Port St. Lucie County to properly count all the early voting. They did it for 3 days, November 1, 2, 3. And there were anomalies. So I thought there was going to be a lawsuit filed.
For St. Lucie County.
Yeah, see what you can find on that. But it sounds like they're
There's
playing.
There's no update. I cannot find any updates except for
Okay, they're playing a rope-a-dope then.
Yeah.
They're just going to wait out this, see what Allen's next move is.
I think David D is.
David D. Hey,
Yeah.
David D., are you there?
I'm here.
All right, you're on with Tom Trento, WNN 1470 at 35 minutes past 3 o'clock in beautiful Florida. Where are you right now, Dave? What part of the state?
I'm actually in West Palm Beach. I'm going to sit in my car to get rid of this background noise. Tom, bear with me 1 second.
Okay.
And here we go. Okay.
We just had a
I'm in West Palm
gentleman.
Beach.
We had a gentleman, Mel, call in that gave us a little update, but it was like no update. Nothing's going on. What do you have to add to what everybody wants to know about Allen West?
Well, what I can tell you is I did ask Mel to call because he was up there this morning. I also have another woman that's going to call with her take on what happened. Basically, not a lot has changed since we spoke yesterday. It looks like the congressman is definitely pursuing whatever legal options might be available to him. I understand today that they counted nothing but votes for the mayor up in that district, and they did not recount anything that had anything to do with Allen West, from what I've been told. And I guess it's still up in the air as to whether or not they're going to actually get to do that, or if the governor's going to make them do that, or really what's going to happen.
Well, what are his legal options? Do you know?
To be honest with you, I don't know. I know that I've been told that they are requesting that the court step in so that those votes can actually be counted. It would seem to me that it shouldn't be so difficult to do, since those votes weren't actually counted. It should just be almost a common sense thing. But I really don't know what his options are, except that I know that I've heard that he is pursuing as many, whatever options are available to him. I'd like to see, as everybody would, all of the votes just simply counted, and may the guy with the most votes win. But it doesn't seem to be what's happening up there, from what I can gather.
I don't understand the whole issue with actually counting people's votes to begin with. I mean, why is the supervisor of elections of any county deciding which votes are going to get counted and which ones aren't? But Dave, if you want to stay on the line for a minute, we have Clay calling from Martin County. Maybe
Yes, I asked her to
Clay's
call
got
in.
some more information.
Hi, Clay, you there?
Yes, I'm here, and I'm listening. And actually, David, we came to a different conclusion today, and as I say we, there's a group of us. We can't trust, even at this point. There's been so much contamination with the votes, such a long period of no one being able to observe or see them. We were there, David and I. We saw what was going on in Palm Beach County. It is absolutely the most fraudulent thing I have ever witnessed in my life, and I am stunned that this kind of behavior is not only tolerated, but obviously encouraged. This is still America, I thought. And yesterday, I was trying to ask Channel 5 News, and I think her name was Allison, a question as to why they were not present at Palm Beach County for the 4 days that we all were there. She got very irate because, you see, we're not supposed to ask questions. We're not supposed to actually connect dots. And then her cameraman, who stood over me and tried to intimidate me and started screaming at me, till she pulled him away. I did not back down, and I said, "Sir, you do not intimidate me. I am asking a question. I believe we're allowed to still ask questions." But the whole mood of both areas is where you are not allowed to politely or otherwise ask any question. Simply bring up and say, "Excuse me, there's a question on this ballot. I see," whatever. This entire, I'm at a loss.
All right, hang on, Clay,
What
hang on 1 second, Clay. Yeah, Dave, you had something to say? Dave, you there? Okay, we lost Dave. Hey, Clay, you've made some pretty serious allegations of fraud, and what you're explaining is certainly bad manners and bad etiquette. What fraud is the purposeful purposeful hiding or misstating of some factual information to achieve a given end. What have you seen? What's the closest piece of evidence you've seen that would meet the bar of fraud, where they're trying to present something to be different than it actually is?
And is this Tom?
Yeah, this is Tom.
Yes. Tom?
Yes.
Well, I think I sent you pictures of the boxes of votes that had not been opened, were not touched. They were over my head. We were not allowed back there. It was refused for any of us to observe. Again, I go back to one question. if you've done your job well, properly on the taxpayer dollar, one would think would say, come on in, let me put this to rest, let's, come in, observe, let me stand by what I supposedly have done. And I apologize, Tom, I've just left there, I'm soaking wet, so it's been a long 2 weeks for all of us. But when one is proud of the job they have done, they do not have to resort to any sort of being on the defensive. They don't put any kind of barriers, obstacles. Open the doors.
Yeah.
Show us.
Yep.
They have yet to show us in St. Lucie County anything. So
Okay,
that
nice.
amount of time, and we knew 2 weeks before when there were busloads coming in and people not being checked. I even have where I was sent, but this was farther south, the front and back of a voter, and I will send you that card that had been improperly done. We had people not matching up with names. There were people who were voting who were not registered. I don't know. To me, that's kind of fraudulent.
Yes, it is.
Maybe I'm wrong,
A
but
lot
you know.
going on there. Yeah.
Excuse me?
There's a whole lot going on there. I see here that Alan West filed a complaint Tuesday that would force the St. Lucie County Canvassing Board to recount all 8 days of early voting before certifying.
Exactly.
Who did he file
Exactly.
that with? Hang on, Clay. Clay,
that
hang on.
must be with the state. That must be why the state is coming down to.
Doesn't say though who it was with.
No. Doesn't say
Do
who
you have any
it's with.
idea what entity or what administrative entity he filed that complaint with, Clay?
I'm not sure. I was with Bill Patterson, who is the chairperson for the Republican Party all day today in St. Lucie County. We've all called Rick Scott's office, as well as Pam Bondi. Again, forgive me, my mouth is a little bit tired, just active. Yeah, I mean, the amount of fraud, it's to the point where one doesn't know which one to tackle. And it's in a way using decoys and every possible way of intimidation. Two elderly man let out by cops simply because one's name was Norman.
Yeah, well, let me, hey, Clay, let me do this because
Okay.
we're getting
yeah.
to the
yeah, we're getting.
Okay.
to the end of the show
Yeah.
here.
I'm sorry.
No,
That's
no
all right.
problem.
That's all right.
We actually had Norman on the show last week,
Yeah.
and we had him on the show 10 minutes after he was escorted out.
I
Yeah.
saw it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
so
witnessed it.
all right. Well, thank you very much. You are doing the Lord's work up there.
Yeah.
Keep doing it. Alan needs the support. I guarantee you, CJ.
Yeah.
If these good patriots like Clay and Mel and Dave,
And David has been wonderful.
if they
Yeah,
weren't
we got
there,
David back
if they weren't there,
yeah.
this
They
this
just walk away with it.
they'd walk
and,
away.
I
They're
think it
pretty
must have been.
horrible to us.
I
We're
think
treated very, except for one person who was wonderful in Palm Beach County. She is a Democrat. Her name is Debbie, and she was fair. And all
Yay
we're
for
asking
Debbie.
for
Yay
is for
for
people
Debbie.
to be fair.
All right. Thank you, Clay. We're going to say
Thank
goodbye
you,
to you,
Tom.
Clay. And Dave, you there, Dave? Yeah, CJ just said that yesterday Alan West filed a complaint
Yeah.
to get all the early voting days counted, not just
yeah.
the first
And I
three.
think that must have been with the Department of State.
Do you know, Dave? We're trying to figure that out. Hey, Dave,
I-
you are the editor of PatriotsPress.com. This is your Pulitzer Prize moment. You're the go-to guy. You got to know everything in the world that's going on here.
Well, I wish I could say I did, but I can tell you this: that thing that you're talking about that Alan filed. If you go to the PatriotsPress.com and click on politics, you will find the details from Fox News about that very article and what exactly he filed. I copied and pasted that from Fox News this morning.
Okay, good. We will do that to check
All right,
that out.
Thank you.
All right. Anything else you got for us, Dave D?
Not right now. Hopefully, I'll have more information as tomorrow and Friday progress, and maybe we can top out the week with some good news that we're going to get a fair vote.
Yeah, I sure hope so. This election is supposed to be certified on November 20th, and St. Lucie County is supposed to have its certification done this Sunday.
I can tell you what. So far, the only thing certified is it's certifiably insane.
Yeah. Unreal.
Okay. Hey, thanks a lot, Dave D. Appreciate it. Anything breaks, we're on till 6 o'clock. You get
Scam.
any
All right,
news?
I'll keep that in mind. Thank you, Tom.
You get any news, or if there's any more sex scandals in the Obama administration, give us a call, okay?
Yeah.
Sure will.
Okay.
Oh, gosh.
Bye-bye.
See you later. Bye. Dave D., our good friend Tom Trento. By 3:46, 46 minutes after 3 o'clock on a beautiful day in Boca Raton. Go ahead. You can zip by. And we have CJ, Mark, and Mike, and Ken back there. Is Ken back there? Yeah, he's back there. Ken, you're a star. Everybody sees you walking back and forth on the show here. So they go, who's that guy there? And we just got another update from Alan West. We're hanging in there because there's several issues here. Part of this, and at Trento Vision, we try to draw application out of all of this stuff. You're seeing a true fighter. Alan West is 2,400 votes behind, but he's not the kind of guy that gives up. And he wasn't the guy that gave up in combat in 2 theaters. He wasn't the guy that gave up when he lost the first election against Klein. What was Klein's first name? Ron Klein.
Yeah.
Then he ran against him again, defeated him. He ran in this bogus election with this nitwit Murphy kid, but the guy's ahead by 2,400 votes. But Alan's not giving up. And in the immortal words of Dolly Parton, who said, I never tried quitting, and I never tried quitting, and what was it?
Yeah, I'm
You
not
can't
going to
start
be
a
able to
quote. You
help
can't
you
start a
out
quote.
with a quote by Dolly Parton. Sorry.
I never tried quitting, and I never quit trying. That's what she said.
Okay, all
She
right.
goes, I never tried quitting, and I never quit trying. Right?
I guess when it's Dolly Parton, you must have
Right.
had a hard time paying attention to what she was actually saying.
In the immortal words of Dolly, actually, it was in a Jewish scriptures today. I was speaking to a friend, and he was explaining something to me out of the Jewish Pash, is it what
Parsha
Parsha for today, the Jewish
for the week.
thought, for the week. And the rabbi had at the end a quote from Dolly Parton: "I never tried quitting, and I never quit trying." Right? And I thought that was pretty good. So, but that by application to you folks watching and listening, look at Alan West as a leader who never quit trying and never tried quitting, even in a battle like this. And I guarantee you, if indeed all the votes are properly counted and he loses, he'll walk away with a gracefulness and a class, and he's not going to go crying. He's going to see, as you heard on the show yesterday when he called in, what God has for him next, and we know it's going to be something big. So we're bringing you this story not just to give you the news story that's important, but to draw these human characteristics and elements out that could be motivating factors for everybody out there.
I would not be
This
surprised to see.
this latest legal action was filed, by the way, in St. Lucie County Circuit Court.
Okay, so he went to the district where the problem is.
Yeah.
It's local government.
Yeah.
St. Lucie County says, you guys are screwing up. And what is the jurisprudential process? Do we know there what they do?
Includes 8 other plaintiffs who were early voters.
Oh, so they want their, so he has.
They want to make sure their votes are counted.
Okay, so that's going to have to be
Yeah.
heard pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Maybe we could, in the break, try to contact them, see what the status of that case is. That would be good. If we actually had producers, that's the kind of stuff we would do around here, you know? So anyway, we got 3:50, 50 minutes
Thanks
after the
a lot,
hour.
fellas.
Or
Was that a
looking
cut?
at it.
Was that a cut, CJ?
No. We need
Yeah.
we need a lot of people. We're expanding our reach. If you
It was
would
a
like
cut.
to help produce, and do stuff like this, we need a lot of phone callers. Yeah, I'm seeing it already. I need like 3 people helping. Now that could be a problem. We're gonna get 100 people. Go, I'll help you. I will help you. But let me share this, okay? This is the kind of help I got here. You ready for this? This is from friends. We love the show and we listen every day. And I want your opinion, both of you.
Right. Okay.
This is from friends of the show. We love in the subject bar. We love the show and we listen every day. Dear Tom, regarding the language error I wrote you about, which you keep making every day, right? I tell you, I grew up in New Jersey schools, first of all. This person, who's a dear friend, wrote a couple of times, today you said, which was yesterday, Our director and myself were on the Muslim side. What's wrong with that?
On to myself.
What should you say?
You should say my director and I were.
You would never say myself was on the Muslim side. You would say I was on the Muslim side.
Yeah.
So you should say our director and I were on the, all of us together. Our director and I were on the Muslim side.
I.
Stop using the word myself, parentheses, which you use very often and incorrectly. She had to be a school teacher.
Yeah.
Unless
She's actually right.
you are creating a sentence. Oh, now she gives an exception. That was always the problem with grammar. You know, here's the rule. Here's the 42 exceptions. Unless you are creating a sentence such as, I hurt myself.
Right. Yeah, she's right.
How else would you say that? Me hurt myself.
No, I hurt myself.
Me hurt myself.
I know where you're going with this.
You can also use it to
Look,
intensify.
don't hurt yourself,
Don't hurt
okay?
yourself. Don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt myself.
You can now she gets into like really getting into grammar. You can also use it to intensify what you were saying, such as I myself did that.
Yeah, right.
Aside from my self issue,
I myself use myself too much.
So,
Too often in a sentence.
aside from the myself issue, keep up the great work. How nice. Okay, so here's the deal.
is that the same one who said correct us on Democratic versus Democrat?
No, that's
No,
somebody
no,
else.
no, that's somebody
somebody
else.
Yeah.
That one is Danita.
Right.
Danita does
she's
not
actually-
let you say democratic. And
you notice that's actually getting spread around a lot.
I
Yeah,
do.
yeah,
I
yeah,
have
yeah,
noticed.
yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's calling the word.
But here's what I need. I
Yeah.
want to stop getting letters like this, okay? So I need your help, the three of you. Whenever I say our director and myself were on the Muslim side, you stop me and say, no, Tom, myself. You say,
No.
I was on the Muslim side.
So we need more producers, and we need the
More-
grammar
And
police.
we need the
Grammar
grammar police, okay? So we're going to get that because I don't want to keep getting these emails as good as they are. I want to learn the lesson.
Okay.
And
That's right.
So we will
correct it.
punctuate
We will
the
correct
show
your
with
public school
corrections of
education.
your punctuation.
Elocution, yes. So we
Okay.
will do that.
Even though you have degrees in theology and
all that
all
stuff,
master's
there's
degrees,
still
and
New
that
You
Jersey.
still don't know no stuff.
Still don't know nothing.
The New Jersey stuff still,
Still know nothing.
sneaks
It's more
through,
education.
comes out. That the New Jersey stuff still comes out. Well, let's just get your thoughts, you two guys, your thoughts on the latest and greatest from the Petraeus situation. Do you know that the general has?
Explain this. I'm
Okay.
really confused. All right,
All
you're
going
to have to go over this.
Mark's going to go through the flow chart. You got
Okay,
1
okay,
minute.
okay. All right. So, Petraeus has 1,000 emails to his girlfriend Paula.
Petraeus to Paula.
Petraeus Paula. All right.
CJ. Oh,
Paula.
let's get the caller in real fast. Mort, you got something to say there?
Yes, Tom. I had an uncle who spoke just about the way you do, and he used to say, I speak so good because I have went to only the best schools.
I like that.
I like
I
that.
speak a very good English goodly.
Yes. You can be our official. When can we announce what you want to do? I want to do that one.
Let me refine it, and let's shoot for tomorrow.
Okay, sounds good. We'll do it tomorrow. See you later, man.
Thanks.
Okay. Bye.
Mort has a surprise for the viewers,
Oh,
the
really?
listeners, and everybody
Oh.
in here. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Now, go ahead. You got a minute, Mark. No,
Okay,
you
so-
got about a minute.
All right. So, Petraeus has emails with Paula.
Petraeus and Paula, PP.
PP. Okay. Paula has a sister.
P1, P2, P2 squared. Go ahead.
All right. P2.
Paula, no sister for Paula.
No, Paula. Okay. So, who's the friend of Paula's? Who's the other girl who has
The
who's-
Arab.
The Arab.
The Lebanese
Oh,
Arab
that's
girl.
Jill and Natalie.
Jill.
Actually, her name is Gillette.
Actually, there's no relation to
No, they're
Paula.
enemies. They're enemies.
They're enemies.
E squared 2
Okay.
on our flow chart.
All right. So she is enemy of Paula. So she calls shirtless FBI guy to.
She calls an FBI guy to investigate the case. He says
Investigate.
the best way I can investigate the case is by taking my clothes off and sending you pictures of myself.
Self, right.
Okay, it's in the new FBI handbook.
It's okay.
Now just think of that for a minute. He starts his investigation and he says, "I think I need to take my shirt off and send her a picture." I mean, where does that?
Okay, I know.
But
All right.
You know,
so I'm open
that
investigation.
does come from somewhere, but we can't talk about it now because right now we've got to go to some of the sponsors who aren't even ours yet, but we got to get sponsors. And we will be back at the top of the hour, folks.
there?
Tom Trento,
Oh, okay.
CJ,
Okay,
Mark, and we are gone for just a little bit.
Okay.